Joining us now with more on night one of play-in week, CBS NBA Insider Bill Reiter. Bill, what action we saw here on Tuesday night, highlighted by the outstanding performance individually and team-wise by Boston, but 15 points out of Jason Tatum. It was a statement of sorts to those who were thinking that maybe Boston had peaked earlier in the season and Washington was just hitting their stride right now. What did you make of this matchup and the convincing way that Tatum and Boston got things done?
Yeah, I mean, the takeaway, other than the fact that I lost a bunch of money not believing in the Celtics, so I had a rough night. I had the kind of night that the Wizards had. There's two takeaways, I think. This is the Celtics team, at least for an evening, that most of us thought we were going to get throughout the course of the regular season. Dangerous, played great defense, and had, at least in this case, one legitimate superstar. And that's the other point. Jason Tatum, most of us that cover the NBA that follow it know this guy's legit. For people that didn't, or those few doubters that were out there, and there were some, he showed you he's one of the best players in the game, and he's capable of taking over a play-in game, a playoff game. He announced himself on a big stage, and it's a big part of the reason Boston's moving on.
The stats, the career night, they will not register as playoff statistics, technically, because it is a play-in, but the moment required all that of playoff intensity. We talked about it pregame, Bill, a one-off situation. Anything can happen, and what happened here seemed like no fluke on Tuesday night, but now it's a 7-game set against one of the biggest, baddest teams in all of basketball. How do you project things forward here for this Celtics team?
Yeah, it's a really good question, in large part because they're a question mark and a mystery, and so are the team they're going to play in the Brooklyn Nets. There's two schools of thought on Brooklyn. One is because they're so ridiculously talented. They're the most talented basketball team in the NBA. They're not just going to win an NBA championship, this school of thought goes. They're going to do it maybe with relative ease. And the other school of thought, and certainly the one that I subscribe to, is that they don't play defense. These guys haven't played many games together, that big three, and they're susceptible. And while I don't think they're going to lose a first-round playoff series, if the Boston Celtics play like that every single night, if Jason Tatum could play like that a few nights, not even 50 points, just impose his will on the game, that could be a lot better series than a 7-2 is supposed to be.
It's going to be fun to watch, and there's only one way to figure it out. It begins on Saturday night at 8 Eastern as that thing gets going between the Nets and the Celtics. The matchup earlier here on Tuesday featured the Hornets and the Pacers, and it really was no match, at least on the Hornets side of things. A no-show of sorts in the first of our two matchups here on Tuesday night. The Pacers dominant in this one, but did they put forth enough of an effort for you to be convinced that maybe they could take care of this Wizards team as well?
No. I mean, look, maybe they can, and I'm not trying to hate on what they accomplished. I think for me, the bigger takeaway, and you just hit it, what a terrible and ill-timed no-show from the Hornets. I mean, to me, that was the takeaway. They had no energy. They had no effort. They didn't play defense. There were easy buckets for the Pacers, and give the Pacers credit. They play with energy. They play with passion. You know, they played like this is one of those weird, and you said it, these aren't technically playoff games in the stat books. It's some sort of purgatory, but they played like their season was on the line because it was. Now, are they going to be able to take down the Wizards? I don't think so, but we've seen in each of these games tonight, this is a one-game play-in situation. You can have an off night, and you can not just lose, you can lose by 20 points, so anything could certainly happen.
We will see how it all goes down. That matchup coming your way on Thursday night. Pardon me, the Pacers and the Wizards fighting for their respective lives and fighting for that 8th seed out east. As you take a look at that matchup, we'll let the odds makers over at William Hill do what they do, but who's the favorite in your eyes right now, what you saw here on Tuesday night?
I mean, look, I'm going to give you my answer, but based on my night, America fade me. I mean, I want you to win. If I can't win, you should be able to do it. We'll have to say, really comes down to health. We saw that Russell Westbrook didn't just limp off after playing the fourth quarter, but left that game about 4.5 minutes left in the game. He obviously needs to be healthy. Bradley Beal's got to be able to be better. And no one's going to be 100%, as you know, Musso, at this point of the deal. But you got to be close. So if the Wizards are banged up, if those two guys can't be the players that they need to be, and the Pacers can continue to be excellent. And really, Domantas Sabonis was great in every facet of the game, except scoring. He wasn't a prolific scorer in this game, and we know that he can be. That's how the Pacers do it. They don't get the best shot of the Wizards for them to win because the best Wizards aren't 100% or maybe aren't out there, and their superstar, who played great, imposed his will, maybe puts in a little more effort on the offensive end as well.
Hey, when it comes to this game, great shooters, they keep on shooting, and our guy Bill Reiter can continue to break it all down here on CBS Sports HQ. Thank you, Bill. All right, here's a look at what's ahead on Wednesday night. We get things going in the Western Conference play-in tournament. With no disrespect to the Eastern Conference or this matchup, Spurs-Grizzlies, our main event, top billing, marquee event. Warriors-Lakers, 10 Eastern. It's LeBron, it's Steph, vying for the right to play the Suns.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.